Chosen ones, be careful with your thoughts. The veil is thin. So, a lot of you are manifestors. A lot of you have different abilities and spiritual gifts. I'm going to talk about a couple of stories that happened just within the last week or so that were very Last week, for example, I was outside, I was taking a walk, and there were a bunch of wasps that were flying around, and I'm trying to snap some pictures, and I'm like, come on, like, as I'm snapping the photos, there were at least 2 that flew in my face, and I'm like, no, I don't want to get stung by a wasp. I was stung by a bee years ago. That was a really bad experience, and from what I know, wasps hurt a lot more. So I went ahead and left, but when I got back home, I decided to look up what kind of wasp were those. Were those wasps, or were those hornets, or were those... and wanted to look up some stuff about them. So I pull up this chart where it has bees and hornets and yellow jackets, and it tells all their different characteristics. And I remember reading that the wasp sting hurts really, really bad, and I'm like, whoa. But it was saying that the meanest of them all are the yellow jackets. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. The yellow jackets, it said, the sting hurts really bad. They'll sting you just to be mean. And I was reading this whole chart, trying to familiarize myself with the bees because there are different types of bees and wasp and stuff like that around. So just curious what the characteristics were. I told someone, have you ever seen a yellow jacket before? I hear those ones are really mean and they sting, and I showed them the picture. And I said, oh boy, I'm glad I got away from those wasps or something like that. And I'm like, I don't want to mess around with wasp or yellow jackets or anything like that. Not my thing. That night I go to sleep, and when I wake up, I get my cup of coffee, I get my breakfast, I sit down, and right at the dining table, there is a yellow jacket. I've never seen one before in my entire life. Now, looking at the picture, it might be a paper wasp. Either way, I was just discussing the night before how I don't want to encounter a yellow jacket or a wasp. Now, this thing looked nothing like the wasp that I saw outside. Those were more of like an orangish color. This one was yellow and black, so I guess it's a different type of wasp. But this is the type that I was trying to avoid. The one that they say has a really bad stinger, and it's right there with me at the breakfast table, like 2 feet away from the breakfast table. My first thought is, okay, it has to be outside, not a big deal. And then when I look closer, it's somehow inside the house. Now, the doors were not opened. The window does have a screen there, but there's no way an insect like that can get in. And once again, I've never seen a wasp or yellow jacket or whatever it is like that before in real life, and it's 2 feet away from me inside, ready to sting, I'm sure. And I thought about how weird that was, and then later on that day, it hit me that, oh, I was just talking about the wasp and the yellow jackets, and then all of a sudden, a wasp or a yellow jacket is right there the next morning, somehow magically gets inside of my house and lets itself in through some mystical way. I hadn't opened any doors or anything like that. Just right there waiting for me that morning. An even crazier story is, not too long ago, I was looking at like tabloids, and not like tabloids, but the equivalent to that, like celebrity gossip type of stuff. You know, there's all this different celebrity gossip going on. And something came up about a huge pop star. I won't say who it is. They definitely have over 100 million followers. And they were saying different stuff about, you know, it's tabloid sensationalism type stuff. And I'm talking to someone, and I just start going in, just making jokes. Like, I like to talk mess a little bit. I'm making jokes about that person and, you know, la ha ha, and then, you know, just going back and forth. And I'm talking about just going in a little bit. And the very next day, they go through, like my video, share out my video, do all this different stuff with my video. This is the same person. I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me. Now, I guess that's not too out of the norm, except for the fact that I was just talking about them a lot the night before. And this is one of the, hundreds of millions of followers and stuff. And randomly, and that's their official, verified account and all of that, and that's not too out of the blue. It happens, but just the timing of it and the video that they happen to be really into, which was about magic and different stuff like that. It just shows me how I'm like, I felt a little bit bad for talking mess. Now, on the flip side, a few weeks earlier, I had actually mentioned and said something positive about that person. But it's kind of weird too, because I rarely think about that particular celebrity. But out of the blue, I just started thinking about him a lot. And then all of a sudden, they go through and buy my channel. I don't follow them. I've never liked one of their videos. Nothing like that. And that's what I mean. It's just so bizarre sometimes. So watch your thoughts. Watch your thoughts and what you're interacting with, because it seems like the veil is getting thinner. And I'll take those two instances, and there have been more, but those are the two for now that I'll share. It seems like the veil is thinning. And so it's important to control our thoughts, to watch our thoughts, to monitor our thoughts. I'm still working on this every day. I do have a tendency sometimes to go kind of negative and to talk mess a little bit, not like in a malicious way, but just to be kind of like B. Arthur from the Golden Girls. I don't know. I just sometimes, kind of get into a nihilistic, it's hard to describe, but in general, try to control your thoughts and try to watch what you say, just in case, because it does seem like the veil is thinning. It might be just that things are speeding up. It does feel like time is speeding up as well. Who knows? To be on the safe side, watch your thoughts. Until next time, I hope you have an awesome, great, fun, amazing day. Please hit the like button and make sure to subscribe and stay up to date. I also have a website that I've been updating regularly, where I put up newsletters and videos and articles and stuff like that. So make sure to check that out. And there are a bunch more videos on metaphysics and spirituality, sociology, and a lot more. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.